Guys, how are you? I hope that music refreshed you. And you're super excited to see me, as I am excited to see you guys. Okay, starting off, welcome back to my space, and this is simply my views. If you're new, thank you so much, and please consider subscribing. If you're a returning subscriber, I'm so glad to have you here. Let's take it away. So today I decided to reintroduce myself. Motivational speakers keep saying you are allowed to reintroduce yourself as many times as need be. And I just felt like today is that day. Allow the girl. Let me introduce myself, guys. My name is Alina. Let's start there. That's my first name, but I have two other Oshiwambo long names, which is Ndapewa and Inekelomwa. And my surname, which I take from my dad, is Kadila. So the name is Alina Ndapewa Inekelomwa Kadila. My names are so beautiful. They all have beautiful meanings. Ndapewa means I'm given, and Inekelomwa means trust the Lord. My mom would sing that name over and over because it means trust the Lord and not into other people or in people of the world. Basically, if you're a Christian, I think that can speak to you. So she'll be like, if she sees this video, she's probably proud of me. Well, she doesn't really speak English, but I hope she at least gets the verse that I just spoke about. It means trust the world. The verse is basically just my name saying Inekero Mwahandu, which translates to trust the Lord and not people. So I'm very close to God, and I thank Him every day for my life. My names were given to me, and they're still speaking to me this day. In Africa, they say give your children power in their names or through their names. So yeah, I was given my power. I'm always gonna, I think I'm gonna walk with it with me, which is the spirit in me. And then I think it's quite obvious. I'm from Namibia, and if you don't know, this behind me, or the flag you saw at the beginning of the video, is the Namibian flag. And oh man, maybe you're wondering why this girl, I'm home, I'm sitting at home right now. You're probably wondering, why is she having a Namibian flag hanged behind her or in her house? To be honest, I'd actually like to think I'm more Namibian than others. I'm joking. There's no such a thing. I am very Namibian, and I have a Namibian spirit in me. I love this country. I love Namibia. And this is just why I have the flag behind me. But more importantly, I've had this flag for more than 4 years, I think. How I always when I travel, sometimes it's not even outside the country, I have a smaller flag that I can wave. It's just that I can't locate it now. I've packed my things, and I have a bigger flag. I think you saw in the video where I went to the Jose Akutako airport. If you haven't watched it, it's somewhere in my videos. I went to send off one of our boxers, Jeremiah Nagathila, when he went to represent Namibia in the United States of America. So I was so excited, guys. I made sure I had flags when I went to the airport, and everybody took the flags from me to go take pictures and all those things. But I have my own flags as a Namibian person. I just love this country. So I am from Namibia. Let me leave it at that. But I was born in Namibia. I was raised in Namibia. For most of my life, I schooled in Namibia. I only went to school in South Africa later. I'll tell you all about it when I reach the academic sector. Anyways, I love Namibia. If you're Namibian, please give me a shout out. You gotta love this country, the peace, the people, we get to appreciate that just every day. And I mean, if you're watching the Olympics right now, it's a great time to be alive in the Namibian, when our girls are there breaking records and doing amazing things. Shout out to our Christine Mboma and Ms. Beatrice Masilingi. I understand there's still other Olympiads that are to participate, but we are so proud and roaring behind Namibia. Our flag has been lifted high, and I don't think we need to only go to Olympics to hear about Namibia. So bringing it from home here, the home grounds, Namibia, a time to be alive. So guys, I think those minutes just gave you another solid idea that I am so Namibian, guys, from heart to everything I do and I stand for. Okay, so I was actually born in a small village in Namibia, in northern Namibia, which is Amutea. Amutea is a small village in the Oshikoto region in the northern Namibia. So who's from Amutea? If you're watching from Amutea, please give me a shout out, from the village to the world, So I grew up actually as a village girl. I am very proud of that because I feel like I have a lot of rich knowledge and exposure. What was happening in the village, village, typically my village where I grew up, that Amutea I'm talking about, there was no electricity. At least I didn't have access to that electricity. So we cooked, and we cooked on firewood, which means I had to fetch the firewood. Fetching firewood is kind of apparently a girl's task. If you come from a place where there are gender roles, that these roles are for girls or these ones are for boys, unfortunately I wasn't exposed to gender roles. I did everything as it came because, first of all, I'm the first child, which means at one point I was the only child in the house. So if work need to be done or someone need to be sent, it had to be me. So no electricity. I remember, I think most of northern Namibia depends on agriculture, mostly growing crops on not on a commercial scale, but on a communal scale. They call it communal farming, if I'm not mistaken, which means we grow our own food in our fields, which is mostly mahangu, sorghum, beans, maize, and nuts, and some pumpkins, some melons, some white melons, all that. And then we also keep animals like goats, cattle, donkeys, what else? Yeah, sometimes pigs and horses for those that have. But we were only keeping goats, chickens, and cattle. Those animals need to be herded. Although they provided us meat, if we needed meat, sometimes we slaughter a goat or a chicken. If we need milk, and the cattle have calves, we can milk. Me, from the village, I was the one actually herding the animals. So I cattle herded, guys. Even right now, if I go to the village and there's need to herd the cattle, I will do it. Herding cattle is supposed to be done by boys, apparently, but for me, I did it. I did everything that was done, even mending the fence. Like, the fence I don't know. Yeah, the fence, guys, I don't know the English words for itoropora, but to keep the goats from or the animals from coming in your field, especially during growing season, which is around from December there to April to July, where people harvest. Like now when I went home, people have already harvested, so now the animals are roaming free. They don't need anyone to herd them. Yeah, I'm losing you guys somewhere. Yeah, but it's hailing from the village where the girl was farming, working in the field with the hoes. When it comes, you pound, you go cook. We cook on firewood, no electricity. These electricity things I found in the city, so a lot of exciting things. just a short break there, guys, because I feel like I was talking about the village story for long and I'm losing you somewhere. You know, yeah, since we're speaking about me, I'm also a mom, tata, to a wonderful baby. I'm babysitting as I'm shooting this. Yeah, but if you are a local from Namibia, you probably are familiar with the song I'm playing in the background. It is by one of our, like, he is my alt man. I mean, I love local music, but this one song, this track, is like mine. Ish. You would even think maybe he composed it for me, but no. I mean, the song has such a great message in it. It says, Oluodirangi nalupa mangojodiangi naitwa. The title, I think, Oluodilotu. It's here on YouTube if you are looking for the whole song, you know, or you can get your album from him, you know. But then, yeah, shout out to Loco Sounds. Great talent there. I actually bought I bought all his albums. He has 3 albums that are out, so I love his songs, and he has really great talent. So Namibia to the world, let's support local and all these things. But yeah, the words are in Oshikwanyama. It's like a language here in Namibia. It's a dialect from the Oshiwambo people. I'm Oshindonga, but I understand other Oshiwambo languages. Another music here from the boss, Mr. DJ in the house. This one I think is... yeah, it means my fight is not over until my dream comes true. My fight is not over until my dream comes true. That's the ultimate line, and that's my motto also. It's not over until I win. Okay, who else is with me? So yeah, Namibia to the world, locals, including myself. So okay, that also brings me to the fact that I really love music. The only problem is I can't sing. I think you picked it up when I'm trying to follow the lyrics. But yeah, I shall sing with the voice that I got from God. I mean, other people were blessed with that singing talent. Yeah. Yeah. So I am a very vocal person. I would like to think so, although sometimes when I find myself in uncomfortable situation or unpleasant settings, my emotions can get the best of me and I will struggle to express myself because I'm always afraid of being too emotional and saying something wrong in the wrong time. And you know, once it's said and done, so it can cause a lot of damage. I'm always thinking about damage. I'm always thinking about what my actions or my words will do to someone, because I've got this enlightenment that words are just not mere words. They can be heavy, you know, and you might not even know that a simple thing you say to someone triggered something, and you know, it becomes a chain reaction and what then you are now the person who caused, you know, those things. I think this brings me to say that I'm very passionate about people. I like to, I think the word I'm looking for is empathetic. I can easily put myself in people's shoes and imagine myself in a certain situation and say, if someone did this, would I like it? If someone said this to me, would I like it? You know, and over time, I've actually gotten, you know, to realize that people are a fragile being, even if they don't want to admit that they are weak or whatever. So it's even if someone is portraying themselves as I don't care, at the end of the day, they do care, and then these things can catch up with them if you're just throwing things around. No, it's Alina, she doesn't mind. Maybe I mind, you never know. And I always think people do mind, so I watch really what I say. And if I offend someone, I would like to know that I have, so that I can apologize. So that's the kind of person that I am. Part of it, I was raised like that. thanks to my parents. The other part, I just start learning as I start to grow as an individual. So that's why on my channel you'll see me talking about real issues I don't see people discussing, but I know they are bothering them, you know. Like I said, I'm a mom. I have a full-time job also, so it's a blessing. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I would like to keep interacting with you guys, but if those other roles catch up with me and I fail, I will apologize and then we'll catch up later, okay? So yeah, that's about me. That's why you'll find, I think, my past videos, there's body shaming. I realize calling out people on their bodies or their looks can have really a lot of effects, because people go through all these things, you know. There's a lack of boundaries in society, so I made a video on that. So keep watching. A lot of things are about to come up. I'm gonna discuss one issue at a time and interact as much as I can. Let's do this. This is why I'm here. This is why actually I started the channel, because as I would just journey through my life, I realized there's a lot of issues. You talk about socio-economic issues, talk about current affairs. I will stay away from politics because I know nothing about politics. And I heard elders say politics is not for children. I took that not as an offense, but I'm not going to touch on politics. I will share a bit of vlogging here and there if I see something interesting. But yeah, thank you guys. I really appreciate I'm here, and I understand that some people are actually with me, and they give me, when I get an interaction, they give me just the excitement to keep going. Now I know I'm not just talking to myself. I'm talking to real people. I'm talking to people who have also probably experienced what I have experienced. And I wouldn't claim to know everything, but I think every person has their own insight, and I hold my rights to mine, and I would like to share them in the most of humble ways, so that we just learn, educate each other, and grow as a people. So last but not least, I am a Herbalife independent distributor. I use Herbalife products. Herbalife is an amazing nutrition company. With their products, we have amazing nutrition products for your body, for your hair, and for your skin, you know. And I will share the journeys of how I've been able to get glowing skin like this, but I think I've already shared that video. I will also talk about how I manage my weight from one time being a tiny girl, underweight, to gaining a healthy weight when it comes to body mass index classification, to when I also gave birth and became extremely huge and I needed to work backwards. Yeah, I was, as you are looking at me, I'm at a size 32, but after I gave birth, I was a size 40 plus, believe it or not. But that is also coming. I will talk about that health and nutrition journey later, and I'm just telling you, this is me, this is who I am, this is what I do. And since on most of my social media platforms, except this one, there's just Herbalife, because I'm marketing myself and my business and all those things, and I want to get the people on the best nutrition that I know. So people always ask, "Hell, you are always doing Herbalife this, you wake up Herbalife that." Yes, Herbalife is amazing and it's worth it. It's worth all my efforts. Yeah, it's worth all my efforts, but I actually wear a lot of hats. I'm a friend, I am a girlfriend, not a secret, I'm someone's girlfriend, you know. And I am, you know, an employee somewhere. I work in a science field, and I think people have a hard time believing it. I don't know why, but yeah, that's just that. I'm a scientist. I actually did, like I said, I schooled in the northern Namibia. I'm very, very proud of the education system because it is very fair. Doesn't matter whether you schooled at a private school or a public school. If you are going to come out of the system, you are just going to come out. You put in the work. If you are at school, don't be bothered by the fact that you are maybe in a rural area, no electricity, you don't have access to what, because you are going to make it. You can go to school as often as possible and pay attention and dedicate it, because some of us, when we were growing up, education is the only thing. It was the key, and it's still the key. We were told, you go to school, you pass, and then you change your situation. So that was the ticket out of, humble beginnings. Some people are living in dire poverty, and it's not a secret. And as coming from me personally, coming from where I came from, I was only told that you go to school, beginning na erongo means get serious with your education. And we watched people go through university and they become teachers or other careers, and they change their home situation. So the fire was there, guys. Coming from where I'm coming, I used to walk maybe 14 kilos on foot to go to school. If it's raining, I still didn't have shoes. We will pass through water. There is no gum boots, nothing fancy. If it's sunny, you are on barefoot. The thorns and the heat will burn your feet, So it's not like, I didn't grow up with much. So, and then I went to school and I excelled because I studied from Okakonda Junior Primary School, Oshikoto Region. I went to another combined school, Amakari Combined School, Oshikoto Region, Northern Namibia, Uyoka Combined School, Northern Namibia. Secondary school, Ekulo Senior Secondary School. I represented my country and my schools, even at national level. And then, boom, I came to university. My first time in the city. Technically, I have only been in the city twice for a competition. Spell Quiz B, if you have heard of it, it's a spelling competition. We were all inspired by that movie at the time, Akila and the Bee, So, it was amazing. And when I was in the village, I would basically, I would come from school running to go relieve my mom from heading the animals, because she will head the animals in the morning so that I can go to school, and then after I have to run so I can relieve her so she can rest, and then if I have homework, I will do it sitting in the bushes, in the mopane tree shades and other trees, while I'm looking after the animals. If I have a test, I have to study there. And if I'm going back with the animals back to the kraal to when the sun is about to set, I have to carry firewood so that I'm cooking. Well, I didn't like all of that, but right now I'm appreciating it really, because I came out of it, I came out of it. And then I came to University of Namibia. It came with its own challenges, but made it through as well. That's where I did my first degree, my undergraduate, which was the honors in geology. I have a lot of geology books. Like, this is actually a geohydrology book. But then we did a lot of studying, guys. I was fortunate because at a later stage I got a bursary which was able to afford me books, and I read them books, and then at some point, like I said earlier, that I actually went to study in South Africa, where I went to do my second degree, which was a postgraduate honors degree in geohydrology. One day I'll tell you all about what met me there, life as a foreign student in South Africa, and all those things. And if you want to apply and things like that, I'll share because I didn't have the luxury of information really. It was always a struggle. And then from that struggle, it's very difficult sometimes, because you don't have all the information, or you just don't have any information. But I realized if I have this much knowledge, maybe sharing it will help someone, So that's why I encourage you to share my videos. I'm sure you know someone who would like to hear about applying for a university for the first time without exposure to career guidance and all those things, because that was me. There were no career fairs. We took career ideas from the professionals we saw, which were basically teachers, pastors, and nurses. That was all that was in the community. So for me to come from that background and somehow end up as a geohydrologist, I learned about that career while I was in university. It's not like, When I grew up, I wanted to be a geohydrologist. No, my dear. Life as it comes. Yeah, so environmental geology and all those things. And this year, I graduated with my master's in geohydrology. You know, guys, I'm very grateful. I had a lot of help. I wish I actually knew some things before, but now I know them, and I'm very, very excited to share them with you guys and whoever is, would want to know. Thank you so much. That will be all from me, and I hope now you get a better understanding of who I am, why this girl thinks she can get up and tell us about ABC. And yeah, thank you guys. If you are watching until this time, I really, really appreciate, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye from me.